help it make sense. What just happened on Monday Night Raw? Jey Uso losing to Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes advancing to Night of Champions for the King of the Ring finals against Randy Orton. Welcome everybody, my name is Sancho West, and this is Sancho West Wrestling, where I talk about all things I love about wrestling. And if you love wrestling, you're gonna love this channel. Consider subbing. Let's talk about that booking decision. And when I make these kinds of videos, it doesn't really matter the result of the booking. The WWE made a choice, and here I am to critique it, but mostly my criticisms comes from how. So in the future, if you see me make these videos, it's how it went down. And ultimately, I always look at it, where does a wrestler go after said booking decision? Cody Rhodes goes to Night of Champions to go to the King of the Ring finals, eventually going to go to SummerSlam to maybe face John Cena again. And now we have Jey Uso. Where does he go? To really figure out about Jey Uso's journey, let's rewind it back to the Royal Rumble. Wins the Royal Rumble, beats Gunther at WrestleMania, taps out Gunther, gets a match with Logan Paul, into the DQ with a Cody Rhodes return to save him from John Cena. They get a tag match at Money in the Bank between Logan and John Cena versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Doesn't really end in a clean finish because R-Truth comes out and helps them. And now here we are, Gunther versus Jey Uso on a Monday Night Raw, which was kind of being preemptively kind of ahead of time. Gunther was there like, I'm going to be there after Money in the Bank. So Jey loses, and he loses to Gunther clean to being slept to. He gets slept, and Jey Uso is in a strange place. And he comes out and he cuts a promo after he loses, and they're like, okay, cool. He wants to spend time with his family. It was kind of leaned into this kind of program that Jey Uso was injured at Money in the Bank. He took a nasty spot against Logan Paul, and he's hurt going into that match on Monday Night Raw. It was a trap game, common like in the NBA, you know, a back-to-back trap game. So Jey Uso loses, and he cuts that promo, and I'm thinking, okay, if this is a way to get the belt off of Jey Uso for a bit, cool. It's okay. He deserves a break. His place where he comes back will still be high because he's Main Event Jey Uso, and he bounces back from losses really easily. Mystery spot at the King of the Ring qualifiers. Who is it going to be? Everyone speculates it could be a Karrion Kross. It was fun to even think about it could be a Mr. Iguana. It was also fun they could be the returning Ilya Dragunov. We're like, all right, that spot's going to be against Rusev, Sheamus, and Bronson Reed. And guess who it goes to? Main Event Jey Uso. I'm like, why? Why would it go to Main Event Jey Uso? Why does Jey Uso need another ticket to the ride to get back into the dance? Considering that I've just accepted that he's going to be on the cool down for a bit. Jey advances. He beats the Fatal 4, and he continues on. And by the way, that match, a lot of shenanigans. Sami Zayn comes out, LA Knight comes out, you had Braun Breaker come out, but it's Jey Uso that was able to pin a Bronson Reed. Cody versus Jey Uso. We get a promo going up against Cody and Jey Uso, and Randy and Sami comes out. Cody says nothing in this promo. Jey Uso does this 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. And we keep going. Randy gives a lot of love to everybody. And now we finally get to this match on Monday Night Raw. Now the match itself was really solid. Some say it's better than John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And this is not a rare occurrence. Well, I would say it's a rare occurrence in WWE when you got a uber mega babyface going up against an uber mega babyface. You can kind of go back to it for me, I think of the mega powers, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. And ultimately in history, there's the Hulk Hogans of the world, and there's the Macho Man Randy Savages of the world. There's the ones that get propelled up to high status, and they're the ones that were a crowd favorite that doesn't ultimately go anywhere that much, just to where they were. They hit a glass ceiling. Now, in the match itself, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's the details how it matters. The biggest red flags throughout this entire match was Jey Uso putting Cody Rhodes in a sleeper. And you're thinking, dude, this is the thing that beat Gunther. This is the thing that made Gunther tap out. And what happens? Cody Rhodes literally stands up with Jey Uso on his back, and he just dumps him over the top rope, okay? A big benefit for a Cody Rhodes fan, right? You're like, oh no, this is not looking good if you're a Jey Uso fan. And the most important part of the match, of course, is the finish. The finish was a strange finish, considering that you're putting a lot of investment in Main Event Jey Uso. And that finish was Jey Uso hitting 2 super kicks, one a very stiff one. Jey Uso hitting his patented spear. That's not looking good for Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso doesn't spend a lot of time, but takes a moment goes up to the turnbuckle to do the Uso splash, and then out of nowhere, off camera, by the way, Cody Rhodes springs to his feet and hits a devastating top rope cutter, follows up with one crossroads, and out goes Jey Uso. Now, in the beginning of the match, early in the match, Jey Uso did hit a crossroads to Cody. So that's how Jey Uso loses. And I'm shocked because it was kind of built up that crossroads for big opponents require a double crossroads, a triple crossroads. I think he even hit a double on Andrade. I think I could be imagining that. The point is, one crossroads, which I'm happy that we're going back to that, but I think you made a poor decision to do the timing here for one crossroads to put down Jey Uso. It would have been nice to see Jey Uso have a hope spot right then and there, considering that Jey Uso doesn't have a lot of momentum. So now Jey Uso lost clean to Cody. They do the typical thing where the babyface respect each other and it's all love, and that is being built up on mostly on a post interview where Jey Uso and Cody had a lot of libations, and Cody Rhodes goes, "Do you feel them, sir?" So there's a lot of that goodwill. They were end up champions at the same time, so there's that. But I still think like this Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso relationship doesn't feel mutual. These guys are not on the same level. And Monday night displayed that Cody Rhodes is on a higher level than Jey Uso. And Jey Uso is not here for that Uber main event status. Now, the biggest thing is Cody Rhodes is going to go on to advance, most likely win the King of the Ring, and go ahead and advance to face John Cena at SummerSlam Night 1 or Night 2, most likely Night 2. But where does this leave Jey Uso? The Jey Uso timeline is filled with possibilities, but they're limited because the WWE has put the rest of the bloodline. That bloodline saga is over. They don't even say the bloodline that much. Can Jey help out Jacob with Solo Sikoa? Maybe, but do you want that? Does Jey Uso go to Jimmy Uso and help out Jimmy's aspirations? I doubt it. The only option is for Jey Uso to get back to the main event. Unfortunately, the main event's tickets are already up. Jey Uso's not one of these characters like a Cody Rhodes, like a Rhea Ripley, that could simply say, I want a title match, I want a rematch. Sure, we could buy it, but the chasm is a little bit further away than, say, a Cody Rhodes is walking up into the plate and calling his shots. The only option left for Jey Uso is winning Money in the Bank. Fortunately, Money in the Bank just happened, and we have to wait for an entire year cycle to get back to that dance again. And that's it. That's probably the last kind of ways for Jey Uso to get back to the main event, unless he's going to do another tournament, unless he's going to have a number one contenders match. I do believe that the Jey Uso experiment is going to be put on pause. Jey Uso, who, if you really look at his reign as a champion, wasn't that great. In fact, I can't even think of Gunther having a great reign of championship before that. It's kind of hard to figure out what was the last great heavyweight champion, which I will do in a future video breaking down the history of this. But when you look at the history books and you look at Jey Uso's contribution to that title, it's only a really sick entrance at the moment. And where else is Jey going to go? I leave that question up to you, and I'm hoping that the WWE does have a plan for Jey Uso that does not involve recessing back to the bloodline and being a secondary character for Roman Reigns. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below and let me know what you think.